dynamite. Oh my goodness.
This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're in Birmingham, joined by a very familiar face, Mr. Dillian Whyte, who was doing a bit of interviewing for IFL the other day, and he was a bit of a hit.
Good, man. It was, isn't it? A lot of fans. I got a lot of DMs that day, you know, and people hitting man up. That's interesting. Let's get it cracking again in the Saudi, man. Let's see. Let's take them by storm with the gear as well. Let's get this thing cracking. You get me?
Right. I want you to introduce your fighter, Steed with a D, Woodhall. Yeah. Talk to me about Steed first, and we'll bring Steed in. Go.
So Steed is a new signing. Recently, he's at super middleweight, and he was at 160 before. He's 15-1, but I think Steve can describe most of that a little bit better than me. So let me hand the mic to the man himself and let him crack on and introduce himself.
What's going on? Coogan first, thanks for getting me on. So yeah, a little bit about myself. I had my amateur career here in the UK. I won 5 national titles, won the British twice, won the Haringey Box Cup, went out to the Worlds. And after the Worlds, I was ranked number 5 in the world after that, and a winner over the world number 2 as well. So I got offered a contract at 19 to turn pro out in Miami. So I went out there. At the time, it was under the same manager as Peter Quillen. So it was good guidance, but things kind of didn't work out in the end. So here I am now, so many years later, making my comeback. Hopefully early next year.
So obviously having someone like Dean obviously behind you with his ever-growing list of boxing contacts, which is growing like someone's black book. You know, remember he used to have a black book back in the day with women's phone numbers. That's how he's developing his boxing contacts. But to have someone like Dean, like I said, backing you, and obviously indirectly Dillian Whyte as well, I suppose, because they're all part of the same team. How does that kind of benefit and boost you?
No, it's been great. Obviously, I've known Dean for a while now. He's working with Shakan Peters from Eastside Boxing Gym as well. Been to a few boxing shows with him. Seen the contacts that he's got. We sat down and spoke about what we can do moving forward, different plans and stuff like that. I've told him what I want to achieve, how far I can go, and yeah, you know, obviously I've recognised the connections that he's got, as you just said. But yeah, you know, it's moving good. I like what he's had to say. There's a couple more steps that we need to make as well, which you can't obviously officially announce yet. But yeah, moving forward, everything's coming together.
Dean, I'll let you kind of finish this off by just explain to us why and what you saw in Steed that made you think, do you know what, I want to work with this guy, I want this guy.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? Obviously, speaking to the guys at the gym, you know, they were talking about Steed and talking about how strong he was. I've seen a few of his clips. And you can see, man, he lives the life. You know, he looks the part, and he looks very, very strong as well. So, you know, and having talked to Steed and hearing about his past, he's a decorated amateur. So, you know, he just wanted to be with someone who's going to guide him and have the same vision as him, and to move him forward. And you know, the mindset's kind of gelled, and I thought, you know what, I could help him immensely in his quest. You know, so for me. He's raring to go out there and showcase what he can do, and I've got the faith that he's going to do that. So we've got to have a bit of faith in each other. And yeah, hopefully shortly we'll have a promotional contract with someone soon. And we'll have him out early next year, man, and let him do his stuff. And, you know, hopefully we can get some devastating knockouts and start knocking on the door for titles. Because, look, he's already 15-1, you know what I mean? So he doesn't need to be babied too much. But for me, what I'll do with him, I'll give him a few fights to get the cobwebs off and do his bit and get that kind of fluidity in terms of fighting, regular fighting under the bright lights and stuff. And then hopefully we'll be looking around to see who's there and what titles we can start collecting.
Okay, Steed, Dean, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. I will just ask you one question unrelated to Steed. Why haven't we heard confirmation of Dillian's fight on the Saudi card yet?
Do you know what? I don't have all the answers. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Because obviously we were a matter of days away. I think possibly because the last final details for the opponent is probably being done. But I think any minute now, I think we'll have an imminent announcement on who he's fighting. today or tomorrow possibly, because obviously like look, the weekends are upon us. In 10 days time we've got the big fight, the rematch with Ruiz and Joshua, and Dill's on that card, so they're going to have to make some form of an announcement, you know, unless they just want him to turn up and have a surprise guest and they're just going to square it off and just do their business. That is possible. That would be intriguing. That's something new. You know, I mean, with Eddie Hearn, you can never tell what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Dean, Steed, thank you very much for talking to us, and we look forward to kind of, keeping an eye on, say, your career now, because you've already kind of advanced, but it's like a second phase in your career, should we say, Steed?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, I haven't had the exposure in the UK because my career kind of went under the radar a little bit in the US, but you know, I've been involved in some decent fights. Unfortunately, my only loss, I fought for the NABF title against Steve Rolls. It was a good fight. It's definitely worth watching the whole fight as opposed to the little clips that go around. But obviously, he went on to fight Golovkin. So it just shows the level that I'm at. You know, I was only about 20 at the time, 21 years old. It was 5 years ago now. So obviously, I'm coming into my prime now. I'm mature. I'm ready. I never left the gym. The amount of time that I've been out. So yeah, I've been there. Got a wealth of experience in sparring. Many world champions, obviously over there. Spent a lot of time with in the Charlo camp. Many different champions. If I start listing them, it's going to go on forever. So it's one of them. But I appreciate your time getting me on, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Is special.